Hi, everybody. Jack Benedict here, and welcome to the Coach Curt Cignetti Show. We talk IUP Crimson Hawks football. Coming off just a real heartbreaking loss at Slippery Rock on Saturday night. It was one of those IUP Slippery Rock games. The weatherman hit late in the game, and everybody was hitting during the course of the game. 40-39, the final score. Curt, no question about it. In reviewing the game, we talked about it. We've seen it. A lot of mistakes in the game. You don't often win against anybody when you commit a lot of mistakes like that, do you?
Well, let me say this first. It was a championship atmosphere and championship effort by both teams in terms of the effort. I mean, you know, our guys really played hard, and their guys did too. And, you know, at the end of the day, you're right. I mean, what our guys have to learn from this, and we are young, and they are a veteran team. They got 13 senior starters. A little bit like Kutztown is, you know, this game shows us what we can be, but also what you cannot do to win this kind of game in terms of the critical mistakes that end up costing you a game. So, and, you know, when it's all said and done, you're right there banging on the door at the end twice. So, I mean, you know, it's a tough loss for the guys, but we got to get our eyes moving forward to Clarion and move on. Yeah,
we'll talk about Clarion here in a little bit. You got behind early. They go down, score, got the safety, 9-0, just like that. Right. But to your guys' credit, you came back and 20 unanswered points.
Yeah.
What happened there, the shift? I mean, you didn't put your heads down.
Well, no. I mean, there was no need to. I mean, we knew it was going to be a battle, and it was going to go to the end. You know, we were hoping it wouldn't go to the end, but we were prepared for that. And so, you know, the first drive, they converted on some third downs and scored a touchdown, and we muffed a kickoff return and end up getting a safety. And so it's 9-0, and they actually scored again to make it 16, but had a couple penalties on the play. And at that point, we held them and put a nice drive together and scored, got the ball back on a turnover, a nice play by Mikhail Makel again on an interception. Scored in one play, and you know, we were up, I don't know if we missed a PAT, we did in there somewhere, but, you know, hold them again and score quickly. So we scored 3 times in 7 plays, and we're up 20-9. And there was still 7.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. That's what was unbelievable.
It was a long quarter, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, you know, at that point, we had all the momentum, and but couldn't capitalize on the momentum.
Well, you know, neither team was going to buckle down, that's for sure.
Right.
We knew it was just that type of game. When you went up 26-16, there was a kick blocked in there at that particular time. On one of those runs, Green, who had a really big day, Shamar Green, he broke through the initial line of defense, and a lot of times when that happens, they're gone, and he was.
Well, he had a number of big runs. He carried the ball 40 times, and I think the one you're referring to, he got out on the edge, and we missed a tackle, and then the perimeter blocking was pretty good. There were a couple balls that went outside on us. One we lost contain, shouldn't have. A couple other times they pinned us pretty good, and we missed a tackle, and then the perimeter guys were blocked. So, you know.
Well, one of the other plays in the first half, too, was that Jay Watkins falling down. I mean, those things, they don't happen very often. Once in a while it can. The turf, I don't know if it was too slippery at that time. We did have adverse weather conditions that night. That was early in the game, though. But those things happen, don't they?
Well, you hope they don't. But, you know, in that particular play, I think we had held them a couple times. It may have been a long yard situation. And, you know, we're in off coverage, and they run a post. And he got a little out of phase and got his feet tangled up, and we hit the quarterback just as he was throwing it. Caron Gibson was bringing big-time pressure off the edge, but you know, the quarterback put it right there.
I think that's what I was watching, because I saw there's great pressure, almost a sack, and all of a sudden you look downfield and there's a guy wide open for some reason.
I'll tell you what, our defensive line really gutted it out. We've had a number of guys out going into the game, and then had a number of guys get dinged during the game. And continued to play at a high level, and it really showed a lot of heart.
Yeah, I think that you know, to the credit to the defense and to you guys, so it's halftime and you're down 30-26.
Yeah.
You know, wild first half, and you
Sure
knew a lot
was,
to
yeah.
come. Your thoughts at the half? You had
Well,
the
at
lead.
the half, you know, we kind of had the momentum and had a 2-score lead twice, and then they go in at halftime ahead. I think they scored 3 times in the last 7 minutes of the second quarter. So it was more about getting everybody settled down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that it's a tight ball game. We got them right where we want them. We've been a good second half team. Let's come out and execute. And we take the first drive down there and score and take the lead.
Yeah, that had to be a big lift for you. 33-30, came right back.
Yeah.
Some big plays in that series.
Yeah, there sure were. Long pass from Lenny to Walt, and another long pass from Lenny to Sean McVay.
Yeah.
So.
They get a field goal, tied at 33 then,
Yeah.
you know. Then the fumbles at times hurt.
Well, the fumbles were just critical. They were. You know, one time I think we fumbled with a 2-score lead on a wide snap, simple power play. We're just going to hand the ball off. Ball was out low wide, and it was 1st and 10 or 2nd and 10. And then once on a long run where we're maybe going to go in and get some points there too. You know, we had another one in the 3rd quarter. You know, those are the kind of things that you can't do in these kind of games. I mean, you just can't do them.
It doesn't matter who you're playing.
Yeah, and the other thing it did is, you know, because we scored so quickly when we scored, and then the fumbles came early in drives, is it put our defense on the field for a number of plays. Now, you can say that, well, if we stop them, you're not on the field that long. But we did a good job defensively settling down, and with the guys out we had, because we really were undermanned, you know, stopping them a couple critical times when we needed to, yeah.
When it's 40-33, Slippery Rock, then Lenny gets the big run.
Right.
45 yards, spectacular.
Yeah.
He's the PSAC Athlete of the Week. He sets an IUP record of 504 yards, just unbelievable. But that was a thing of beauty.
Oh, yeah, right into the blitz, too, which made it even more incredible. He just made the guy miss, and then it was clear sailing after that. It was just, that was another short drive. And so we're right there in position to tie it, and, you know.
Well, you had an opportunity at the end to drive down the field. There were some questionable calls in the game. The one on the perhaps on the 4th down there, the interference call. I know you guys have watched the video and everything else after that. I know you can't blame anyone. You can't look at any one play. It came so close to going the other way, but in the final analysis, it just came up a little bit short.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, you want to control what you can control and not put yourself in that position where you're depending on a call on really the last 2 4th down plays.
Yeah.
But you know, we didn't. But I saw a lot of positive things out there. I saw a lot of young guys really step up. I saw everybody play their heart out. And we're going to move forward and get better.
Yeah, you can't ask for much more than that. We brought it up. Slippery Rock had 8 starters. You mentioned 13 seniors overall, 8 on the offensive unit. You have 1. I could not believe when I looked at the stats that they ran 101 plays.
Yeah, they did. And like I said, a lot of that was because of our scoring drives were quick, and then the fumbles occurred early in series and put our defense out there. I think they may have had 21 third downs, if I'm not mistaken. So.
Okay, 3 weeks to go, 3 big games to go. I'll use the coach's term, one at a time.
Yeah.
Clarion is next. They've had this great season. California beat them, but they gave them a battle near the end. Everything's there for you, though, isn't it? And it's got to be. I would think the injuries would be the key thing, but the positives, there are a lot of them there.
Oh, there's no question. And then we got to get some guys mended up because we are beat up. But hopefully, as the week progresses, we will, and we'll practice smart. And Clarion is 7-1, and they haven't done it with a magic wand. I mean, they've earned it. They're really a much improved football team. You know, it all starts with the quarterback, Connor Simmons, who's thrown for about 3,000 yards and 29 touchdowns, and they've got a running back that's got about 900 yards. They've got a 6'2" and a 6'3" receiver. One's got 13 touchdown catches, the other has 8, and then they've got 3 or 4 other receivers. And They're doing a great job on offense, and their defense has forced 20 fumbles, and they have 25 sacks. So, you know, they beat Gannon at Gannon pretty handily, and then they whacked Mercyhurst pretty good. And, you know, Kell got him last week. Kell forced some turnovers, and it's going to be it's going to be a big challenge.
I don't like to center on any particular players, but I do want to mention Walt Pegues too, who had 14 catches for 233 yards.
Yeah.
The 14 catches second or all time. The yardage is third all time. And again, there's a sophomore player for you.
Well, Walt is a real smart player, plays with a lot of heart, makes great decisions on the field all the time. We wanted to get the ball in his hands more in this game, and we did. And, you know, he's only 160 pounds, but he's hard to tackle. And even when two guys are tackling him, he finds a way to fall forward. I mean, Walt's a really good player.
Curt, when we take a look at PSAC West here in the last couple of minutes we talked about this way back when the season started. It's proven to be, wow, it's really tough, isn't it?
Yeah, there is. I mean, it's a lot of parity.
A lot of parity.
There's no question in this conference. You got to be ready to play every week. So, and you know, the next one's the same way, and the one after that will be the same way, and the one after that will be the same way.
Well, this is challenging again. It's a noon kickoff. It's again a relatively short drive. Be a nice afternoon to be up there. The atmosphere, I'm sure, will be similar to what we experienced with Slippery Rock.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a nice day, and it'll be an earlier kickoff, and you know, we got to go up there and play well.
Yeah. Well, the thing you want to do too, get healthy.
That's right.
Yeah. Curt, good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, that's our story on IUP Slippery Rock, and the final 3 weeks will be really interesting for everybody. We hope you'll stay with us. Coming up next up, it'll be Clarion, and the kickoff up there is at noon. For Coach Cignetti, this is Jack Benedict. We hope you have a nice night.